Are you a scaling SaaS founder?
Ready to make the leap from leading a team to leading an organization? Join us each week as we refill your think tank with actionable tips and strategies from great business minds you know and those you don't know yet. This is SaaS Fuel with your host, 5-time entrepreneur, SaaS founder, and globetrotting adventurer, Jeff Maines.
Welcome back to the SaaS Fuel podcast, where SaaS founders and us are like peanut butter and chocolate. Separately great, but together an unbeatable combination that never goes out of style. I'm your host, Jeff Maines. I help B2B SaaS founders like you grow from traction to scale. Here, growth is more than just numbers. It's about crafting a future-proof company, premium valuation, and leaders who build a business of significance while living epic, adventurous lives. Last week was SaaS Open, and I had lots of fun hanging with exceptional SaaS founders, meeting new people, plus a dozen or more that I only knew online and actually met in person. You ever had that experience where you meet people online, and they're like, in a little 2x2 box, and you meet them and they're like 6'8" or have, big personalities or, all sorts of things. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. From the podcast in particular, I met Wes Bush, Yaroslav Lazor, Adam Robinson, and quite a few more world-class SaaS founders like Liam Martin from Time Doctor, Makita Makedo. We got to spend some time together with PandaDoc, Eugene Levin from SEMrush, Jason Cohen, WP Engine. I don't know if you know those guys, but their service levels are just off the charts. And so many more. It's just absolutely outstanding to be able to spend time and have conversations and be able to tap into the knowledge and wisdom and experience of other people in the space. I will post some pictures and maybe a little write up on the conference overall. It was just absolutely fantastic hanging out with other founders. Despite what the experts say, you don't need to spend countless hours and resources building your own audience from scratch. In fact, the smartest founders are stealing their competitors' audiences right under their noses. This is a strategy I've actually used to build 5 companies, and that is the power of partnerships. And today's guest has made it super easy for companies with a PLG motion. A company that does this really well is HubSpot. They tried to build their own audience of marketers and salespeople from the ground up, but instead they did something brilliant. HubSpot partnered with agencies, consultants, and other companies that already had direct access to their ideal customers and created the HubSpot Partner Program, where they tapped into a network of over 6,000 partners and skyrocketed their growth. It's like they hacked into the matrix and gained instant access to a treasure trove of potential clients. So maybe if you're not the size of HubSpot, how do you unleash the power of partnerships for your own B2B SaaS company? Here's a 3-step framework that'll have your competitors shaking in their boots. Number 1, you want to identify your dream partners. Look for companies that have already captured your ideal audience, but offer complementary products or services. These partners can make your offering even more irresistible. It's like Han Solo and Chewbacca, Mario and Luigi, Lennon and McCartney. Together, an unstoppable force. Number 2 is to craft an offer they can't refuse. Make them an offer they can't refuse. Create a partnership that is so mutually beneficial. Your partners would be crazy to say no. Think co-marketing campaigns, revenue sharing, or even exclusive product bundles. Sometimes even move beyond revenue. Make it a deal that is too good to pass up, like offering them a first-class ticket on your rocket ship to success. One thing to note here, though, is they don't want to sell your stuff. So going to them and saying, hey, I want you to sell my stuff will not work. It's one of the reasons that a lot of times partner deals fail. But if you go to them and you show them how your stuff helps them sell more of their stuff, now they're going to be on board and going to be really interested in what's going on. So keep that in mind as you make that offer irresistible to them. And third, you want to nurture and expand your partner ecosystem. So once you've got your dream partners on board, don't just sit back and count the money. Continuously work on strengthening those relationships. Explore new ways to collaborate and keep momentum going. Who knows? You might even create an entire ecosystem of partners that catapult your growth to new heights. Partnerships are my secret weapon to explosive SaaS growth and to stealing your competitor's audience. There's an entire chapter dedicated to this in my book, Small Fish, Big Pond. You can shortcut your way to success, expand your reach, and leave your rivals wondering how you did it. So, don't waste another minute trying to build your audience from scratch. Start stealing your competitors' audiences today. Our expert guest last week was Arthur Petropoulos, founder of Hillview Partners. Great insights on how to make your company attractive for investment or exit, plus a handful of common mistakes founders make that sometimes cost them a small fortune. And our founder last Tuesday was Jason Friedman, the CEO of CX Formula. We talked about growing, scaling businesses with stability, purpose, and energy. The best part, my favorite part of our conversation, was a kinetic customer formula. And of course, how going on stadium tours with rock bands gives you a little different perspective on customer experience. Yeah, I think it probably does. If you missed either one of those episodes, go back and give them a listen. My guest today is Joran Hofman, founder and CEO of Reditus, a SaaS affiliate marketing platform. Joran himself was an affiliate marketer with 30,000 visitors a month, but couldn't create the income he was looking for because the existing affiliate tracking tools were clunky and inefficient. And that is 100% right. They are. He fixed this by creating Reditus, which focuses on affiliates first, not the other way around. And the results speak for themselves because when affiliates do well, so too the SaaS companies. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting Joran in person last week in Austin, all the way from the Netherlands. There are lots and lots of international people there, which is just awesome. So, welcome, Reditus himself, Joran Hofman. Hey, Joran, welcome to SaaS Fuel.
Thank you for having me.
Well, tell me a little bit about your background. What's the story behind the creation of Reditus and what inspired you to start this venture?
Yeah, I always think it is a fun story. So I started out of pure frustration, I guess, as most ideas do, right? So I've been a SaaS affiliate myself for around like 80 tools, and I ran into a lot of problems with the current tools on the market, where I either had to log into every portal separately to figure out how am I doing as an affiliate for a certain SaaS brand. And then there was a couple of networks where I was in where I didn't really trust the data. So at one point, I really tried to figure out like where things were going wrong, couldn't figure it out. So long story short, I built basically my own affiliate network, and we'll probably dive into that a bit deeper. But I guess the origin of the story is that I had a certain problem, ran into so many issues that I just at one point decided I will just fix it for myself.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, especially just having that. I mean, that's a lot of affiliates to manage. And is that a common problem that you see? Is that the data is not necessarily trustworthy, or that there's things that are missing?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody will have it, right? Where at one point, like, technically things will change or things will happen. But like in one network, I had 15,000 clicks in a year and I did not make one sale. Like for me, that's impossible.
Wow.
What, like looking at average conversion rate, right? Like you should have at least sales coming in. So I think like the support like you get, because I was head of customer support or customer success when I started my own company, like I know that it's really important to actually tell them like what's going on, and if you be transparent about it, then people will understand, or at least you come to the core of the problem. So I wasn't able to do that with some of the other platforms out there, which really started to frustrate me. So that's one I was like, oh yeah, this can be better.
Yeah. Well, I think you've experienced the problem, and you think it's a different thing when you build a solution to solve a problem that you have versus maybe somebody from the outside coming in, seeing a problem, saying, "Hey, I bet I could go fix that."
Yeah, no, 100%. Because if you experience something, like if you actually have been in a certain market, in a certain industry, in a certain niche, so I guess it doesn't have to be so specific about affiliate marketing, right? But if you already encounter challenges yourself, besides, I guess, you know how to fix them, it's also easier to talk about other people. So your clients, your potential clients, to talk about those issues, and you are able to dig deeper like really quickly, right? Because if you're always on the surface and you try to build a solution for something you haven't encountered, like you haven't encountered a problem yet, you don't even know if it's a problem in the first place, maybe. And then the second part is like you might not be able to talk the language with your
Yeah.
potential clients. So 100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm always curious about the challenges that founders, entrepreneurs face. So what are some of the biggest hurdles that you've encountered building Reditus, and how have you overcome them?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's many challenges, right? Like I'm a non-technical
Yeah.
founder, so I guess like the
Yeah,
technical
me
part
too.
is that's always like the hardest part, right? Like you don't know how long things will take, and things will always delay, and things will always take
Right.
longer. So, for example, like we launched on AppSumo, which is like a lifetime deal site where we got like our
Sure.
first users in. We ran into a lot of bugs, which was the idea where we have a lot of users, so we can identify like, did we actually build a good product? We fixed that, and then we started to scale, and then we ended up like with a product where a lot of things were happening. I guess we had like quite a few users, but we didn't know always why a certain bug was happening. So there was the point, for example, like the challenge is that we had to decide to take 6 months basically to rebuild our entire core, and then not worry about like getting new clients in, purely managing the ones we already have, make sure things are working for them, fix the entire core in the meantime, and then from there started growing. So I guess challenge wise, like you always encounter things you wish you don't encounter, and it always takes longer
Sure.
than you want, I guess.
That's so true. So true. Well, what was the thought process? A lot of companies have launched on AppSumo. Big fan. Yeah, I'm there all the time. What was the thought process in going that route and you know getting into the market that way? It was to gain users, or how did you think about going to market through that channel?
Yeah, for us, it was purely gaining users. Like in the end, if you look at the model, right, it's a lifetime deal. So it's a fraction of the price you're going to charge for, I guess, like later on users, where it's going to be a subscription based model and they get a lifetime deal, which is often like highly discounted as well. So for revenue wise, like, I mean, there are some good examples which are who generate a lot of money from it. But for us, it was purely users. So we wanted to get the first users in because we're a marketplace. So we had the chicken egg story. So we needed to fill up one place of the marketplace first before we can focus on the next one. So that was our top process. Like we need to get SaaS companies in who want to set up an affiliate program. And once we have the first SaaS companies, we can also start attracting the first affiliates. And that's why like we needed to start at one place, and AppSumo was for us like a good way to do so.
Yeah, I think that's really smart. You're really building a network. So it's
Yeah.
both sides, like you said. You have the SaaS companies, you have the affiliates, and either one without the other, it's like having a bunch of people that want to ride and no cars,
Exactly. And
or a bunch
especially,
of cars and no riders. So, but I think building a network on both sides like that is difficult. How did you go about doing that?
yeah, so we started with the AppSumo. We have a freemium model basically. So, and the freemium model for us is that if a SaaS companies want to set up an affiliate program, they have to invite the affiliates themselves, which helps us to grow the network. So there's a double, like there's a benefit for both of them because we're, as far as I still know, the only one who offer a freemium model in the affiliate marketing space, which has a network. So what they can do is they can start with us for free. They have to invite their own affiliates, which is going to help us. And then from there, if they start generating revenue, they start paying us. And like the free model for us has been a really good one in that sense. And yeah, I always have a love-hate relationship with the free model just because you have a lot of users, you have a lot of requests, you have a lot of people who aren't qualified, I guess, as your real typical ICP. But then it did help us to grow the network. So, like regarding growing the network, that was definitely a good driver for us.
That makes sense. Well, thinking about ICP, what types of SaaS companies are good for affiliate marketing? And who should be thinking about this? So if they're looking at it, well, is it right for my company? Is it not? How would somebody know if affiliate marketing is the right next step?
Yeah. Like I would always say, you have to figure things out yourself first before you start with affiliate marketing. So don't, if you just started your own SaaS, like don't expect that affiliate marketing is going to be a magic bullet for yourself. So if you ask me like what is the best scenario, I would always say have at least, let's say 10K, 30K monthly recurring revenue. So you have a user base which you can tap into, because those people are often the good ones to start with, because they know your value. You don't have to explain about the
Right.
product, and they back to the problem, like if you have people who already know exactly what you're trying to solve and how you solve it, what kind of value you bring, those are the people you want to start with. So if you don't have that user base, then it's going to be harder to find people to start recommending you, right? So I think that's the basis. And then you can put it back to MOR as I just did. So it could be 10K, 30K MOR, where at least you already know how to sell. So you know your conversion rates from a website visit to sign up, and from sign up to paid. You maybe ran paid ads yourself already. So you're invested in your conversion rates, because in the end, affiliates are purely driving traffic towards your site, which you have to convert. So
Right.
if you don't know how to convert, then they're not going to earn any money. So I would say like that would be the basis. So if you already ran paid ads yourself and you already have like everything, you know what is working, it's going to be easier for affiliates to also to onboard them and tell them what is working so they can replicate it.
Yeah, that's really smart. If you could use some innovation and encouragement from fellow B2B SaaS founders on your journey, check out Champion Leadership Group. It is the ultimate community for SaaS founders and C suite executives to continue to develop themselves, scale their companies, and never walk alone on the journey. We're kicking off a new scale up cohort this month, and I would love for you to be a part of it. You've navigated the startup storms and emerged victorious. Now it is time to elevate from success to significance. Zero fluff, just the hard hitting strategies you need at the right time. We focus on capital efficient growth, profitability that lasts, and achieving the kind of valuation that's not just impressive, but impactful. You'll gain access to a fractional C suite team, custom growth roadmap, and software powered operational excellence that frees you to focus on what really matters. For more information, visit championleadership.com. That is where leaders evolve and companies transform. Is there a specific like buying requirement for SaaS companies? Is it something where it needs to be like a quick checkout, or is it something, does enterprise SaaS work well in an affiliate model, or how do you think about that?
We like really mainly focus on product-led growth companies. So the self-checkout model, as you mentioned. So if you look at those companies, right, if you go to the site, it always have like a get started, book a demo, sign up now, free trial, those kind of things, where if people sign up, we receive the email if they came from an affiliate. So, and that email is also going to be present within the Stripe payments. So we are able to track everything automatically. And that's like
Okay.
because that's our promise also towards the affiliates, right? Because we want to do proper business, because I came from that side. So I want to make sure that there's no manual intervention. Because when you go to more enterprise, then those book or those getting started often get replaced by a HubSpot book a demo form. Then you get like into their CRM system, and you have multiple stakeholders. So the unique identifier of the person booking a demo changes, because at one point when you send an invoice, it might go to billing at company name.
Right. Right.
So it's still you're still able to track it. But the thing is, like, if you go higher contract values like ACVs, then it also means manual invoicing and a lot more manual work on the SaaS side. So a lot more room for for error on the affiliate side. So for us, our ideal customer profile is basically a product-led growth company.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how would somebody go about building an affiliate network? They get in there, they sign up, and then you said they're inviting their own affiliates. Do you have specific ways that people build those affiliate networks, or are they able to tap into a network inside of Reditus, or how does that work?
Yeah. Until last week, we were a one-sided marketplace. Since this week, we're a two-sided marketplace, which is still in beta.
Nice.
So like in core, our network now is around like 8,500 B2B SaaS affiliates, which are in our network. Yeah, what we did, if they log in, they see the marketplace. So SaaS companies can list their affiliate program in the marketplace, and then they can decide, do I want to apply to this affiliate program or not? And then the SaaS company can still say, I either accept or decline this request. So they always keep control. And what we're currently doing is we're actually allowing the affiliates to create a profile. So for example, you have a specific audience, right, with the podcast, where SaaS companies might actually want to take leverage from. So you can showcase your profile. You can show exactly like how many subscribers do you have? What is your pricing on the podcast if you would take on sponsors? And then what can they expect, basically? And then from there, they can contact you. And this is maybe not the best example, but we do it with publishers, for example, where we're going to connect with their Google Analytics. So SaaS companies can basically filter who has traffic in the country I'm looking for, on the platforms I'm looking for. So it has to be on the website, and they have interest in the industry we're in, and they work on the model we want to work. Basically, do they want to work on cost per action, cost per sale, cost per lead, those kind of things? And does the pricing match with what we want to offer, basically?
Okay.
So that's what we're currently doing. So we're now like transforming into a two-sided marketplace where SaaS companies can tap into our network.
A huge value there.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
just showed it to the first clients, and they were really happy to see it, because we also showed them, for example, what the affiliates have been doing within the network. So how much money have they been making for other companies? So it becomes really transparent in a way, like, is this a good affiliate? Because there's a clear example of an affiliate we have. He's in the Cayman Islands. So if you would see his profile, an affiliate in the Cayman Islands, you're going to think like, well, do I even want to get him in? But if you see the amount of money he generated for all those other SaaS companies and his traffic, where the traffic is actually is, then you're going to think like, oh, this is actually a good affiliate. Because so that's why we want to have the data speak for itself. And we trust people, well, we trust data more. So in that sense, affiliates can also showcase themselves based on the available data.
Okay. Yeah, that's really smart. There's probably a reason he's living in the Cayman Islands. He's generating some pretty good money.
Yeah. So this is one example.
Yes. Well, I think that's really fantastic. Having both sides of that is, like I said, just massive value. And Reddit has really gained a reputation pretty quickly for an innovative approach, especially around the affiliate marketing and partners. Highlight one or two other unique features or strategies that sets Reditus apart from other companies or other competitors.
Yeah, I think the freemium model is definitely already one, as mentioned. And I think the approach we take, as in, I generally want to help people to generate more MOR for their SaaS. And I think you can see it in everything. And sometimes I think like I might even do it a bit too much, because people sometimes even think like this is a bit too good to be true. So we have been, for example, like a couple of months or maybe a year back, we doubled our prices, and like we still don't get any complaints from it. But I think that's in core what I want to do is I really want to provide value. And if somebody gets value, then I want to grow with them. So if you compare us against like some of the bigger players out there, it's you either start with $59 per month paid annual, or you're going to start with 15K on an annual basis. So there's a big difference there, which might be a bit too big, where we're too cheap at the moment, but it allows us to grow the network faster. So at one point we will be able to like raise prices again, but I always want to keep that element. We want to provide value as much as we can, so SaaS companies can grow their MOR, and then we want to benefit with them, basically. So we do an academy. We do also run a podcast. We provide a lot of content, making sure we can help in many ways.
That's good. How do you measure success? Is it in like terms of impact, or is it your own revenue? Is it client revenue, referral revenue? What does impact and value mean to you?
Yeah, so like in the end, it will be revenue, but our revenue is tied towards the revenue of our clients. So for example, we just had one client, which we upgraded again. They were just 1 month in a certain package. So they reached their threshold already twice, which basically meant is they're generating an X amount of MRR in a certain month. So for example, it's now February. They generated in December. They generated a little less over 5K monthly recurring revenue via affiliates. In January, they went over that, and in February they went over 10K monthly recurring revenue. So our revenue is tied to that. So we now upgraded them twice in the last 3 months, and this is like where it's clear success, right? It's clear value which we drive. And we haven't been tracking it well enough, to be honest, but like ideally I have the North Star metric being the revenue of our clients, because if that goes up, then our revenue will follow.
I like that those two things are aligned, that it's not something where, you win and they lose. Yeah, but those goals are really aligned together. I think that's really smart in the way you've built that.
Yeah, it's a nice selling point, right? It's nice to get people in. It's nice to get them like upgraded as well. And it's nice churn wise, like CS wise, it's really nice as well. Because in the end, if they get a lot more value than what they're paying us, then why should they leave? Like we have to do really crazy things now with this client for them to actually leave our product.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you upgraded them twice and they're continuing to generate more and more revenue, they would never want to go anywhere.
Exactly. So that's our goal. So as long as we keep improving the product and we don't piss them off, I guess, in any way, we're going to be fine.
Yeah. That's a great model because, I mean, as long as there's value there, they're going to be around and that, you've proven that value.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think as well. But it takes a really long time. And this is like we talked about challenges. Like this was one of our challenges where if you implement this kind of model, it takes a really long time, right? Because we tie everything towards the value of our clients. So in the end, we need to activate them. We need to make sure that they do the things we want them to do to become successful. And that could take longer than you wish as well, because it's not in your hands. I think everything takes longer than you expect. That's maybe one. And I mean, I received it, but it didn't land, I guess, in a way. I thought, well, I already worked at a SaaS company, already managed other people, already have experience in this. Like I'm able to do it faster. And like you hear this people saying all the time, right? But in the end, we had the exact same thing. It just takes longer. And you always run into your own challenges in a way. So I think that's definitely one. And I think like the other one, which I would take somewhat with by the hand, is like revenue first, because we've been focusing on value first for the clients, right? But I would make a combination, as in probably charge a bit differently at the beginning so we can become quicker profitable, which allows us to grow quicker, provide more value towards the client. So creating a bit of a different balance than what I did starting out, where we provided a bit too much value. So I would create a better balance there. But it's even for your own mental health, right? Like if you're just always for a certain period, keep investing money into the company and not actually taking anything out, it almost, I mean, it doesn't feel like a hobby, but it could feel like a hobby. It could feel like a bottomless pit, as we call it here. So if you actually focus on, I guess, generating revenue, right, and you actually don't have to keep investing money in the company, which is like was my first goal. And then the second goal is to actually get profitable. Like if you're there, then things become easier, and then you can easily more focus on generating value and not have to worry about the other aspects. Yeah, so we're still bootstrapped right now. So we haven't raised any external funding like we did. Yeah, but I mean, I have those days where like I did create pitch decks in the past before where you're like, I'm gonna create this. Like we had a couple of calls with investors. In the end, didn't work out. We got, I think, like one offer. But like I would indeed, like right now, I do see that if we want to grow fast, or if we want to grow faster, I do see the potential, I guess, what external money could bring. But personally, I would, for example, do like a community round with people who already been through it, like real founders, I guess, rather than finding a VC who can help me. So I'm not against external funding. We just haven't done it because when you start talking to VCs in an early stage, they always say like, we invest in pre-seed and seed. And then at the end of the 3 conversations, they say, come back when you have 10K monthly recurring revenue. That's how it went for most of the conversations we had. So in the end, yeah, like if you build a good product and you go that revenue first model in a way, then it's going to be a lot easier, because now when we're profitable and we want to raise for growth, then we can easily show numbers and actually use the money for growth rather than for our own expenses, for example. And I mean, the challenge I have right now, like how much do you give away, right? How much do you value your company right now based on the revenue you have, even though there's like, a lot of growth potential. So I think that's always a fun one, which I think every founder will encounter. Like, how much do you value your company? I mean, I talk to the clients a lot. So I think that keeps you motivated in a way as well, right? Where if people are using you and they're happy with the tool, and even though like times are tough, if you know that they're getting value out of your tool, then at least you know you're onto something. So you're onto, I guess, success. It might just take a while. Like for me, I had the problem, of course, at the beginning. So I knew there was an issue where in a market which is already present. So I know there's market potential. And then talking to the clients, we know that we're actually fixing some of the problems, and by sharing the vision with them, we also know that we're going the right direction. So I think that's definitely one. And like what I did, I recorded, for example, a lot of client recordings. I sent them to the developers because it's not just me, right? Because I'm talking to the team or to the clients myself, but the team isn't that much. So I share as much as I can with them. So they're motivated as well and not just having to build new features because Joran asked them to do so. So by giving them the first-hand information, it's a bit easier to also keep them motivated, where it's not just always me having to say things basically. And yeah, another thing we do, because we're remote first, so my developers are in Romania, I'm in the Netherlands, I have an advisor who is in Barcelona, and my podcast editor is in Kenya. So we're all over the place already. But with the devs, which work full time, we try to meet up like every 6 months. That's at least what we did in the last like 1.5 years, where we fly to a certain place and then we meet up. So in that sense, we build a bond, like also, I guess, besides just working, right? So we went to dinner, but we don't have to work in an office the entire day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did this before. So when I was working at Leadfeeder, I had a team of around 30 people. So I was head of customer success. There was like customer success managers, customer support, consultants, and they were like all over the world. So like the way I like to work is goal driven, target driven. At the moment, yeah, they're purely dev, so you can't give them revenue goals, right? But they're clear tasks we need to do. So we basically work in cycles of 2 weeks, and what do we want to get done within those 2 weeks. So we have like a planning session and a grooming session. So what do we plan to do in the next couple of cycles, and then we basically spec out everything, and then yeah, it's easy for me to track, I guess, how things are going. And then for me, I don't care when they do it or how they do it, as long as the work is being done, right? So if they do it from Mexico 9 in the evening or in anywhere else in the world at 6 in the morning, I don't care. Like if they find their way of how they work the best themselves, then why not allow them? Because in the end, we know exactly what they wanted to do in those 2 weeks or in the longer time frame. Yeah, and I mean, finding the right people is crucial for that, right? Because like it's easy to hide, I guess, at the beginning, but at one point, like if you're such a small team like ours, then there's a lot of we rely a lot on the people, of course, so you can't hide, as in if you're not doing anything or you're not hitting your goals, it will come out like really quickly. So as long as you have the goals set, basically. Yeah, I don't even remember how I got started, but like I know it came out of somewhat own frustration as well. Like I'm growing my own SaaS, right? And I have a lot of questions which I don't know the answer to. So my idea was, can I ask experts who have the answers for me? Because in SaaS, we use a lot of acronyms, you call it in English, right? Where B2B SaaS, MRR, well, there's so many out there where if you go the investor route, like at one point I got lost with all the acronyms. So I thought, why not interview people on, I guess, maybe the stupid questions or the basic questions and dive deeper into every topic so I can educate myself. And in the meantime, I can help others as well, because we always assume that everybody knows everything, but we don't. And a lot of people don't. So that's how I got started. And it's been going nicely, I guess. Like I've had some really good guests on the podcast, which are pretty well known within the SaaS world. Growth, I guess that's our biggest goal right now. No, yeah, so we're, as mentioned, like 8,500 B2B SaaS affiliates, which I think is still low. So we want to get to around like, let's say 30K at the end of this year, which also means is we need to get more bigger clients in, right? So like we did, to give some transparency, we basically looked at like, who are we now getting in from all the things we're doing? Are those actually our ideal customer profile? And then we figured out they're not always. So we implemented like a qualification system internally where I fully focused my time on the ideal customer profile clients or signups or book demos. Instead of trying to follow up on everybody, I'm just going to focus on them, trying to make them successful. And then we can see if we can automatic, I guess, or in bulk onboard all the other ones, which can't have all my attention, right? Because we're product-led growth ourselves. So I need to deal with volume, and I don't want to hire a big sales team either. So that's our focus. Like we want to become the go-to market or like the go-to channel if you want to go to market with partners in any kind of the world. So we have a long way to go still. Yeah, we want to build like a company. I mean, everybody wants to, right? But with a good culture where people are happy to work, where they can actually contribute on all the things. Like we just had a session this afternoon where everybody was there, and we are going to improve our onboarding. And then it's not my opinion is gonna rule. Like I try not to say too much during those sessions, so we can actually have everybody's opinion. And the bigger you get, the more difficult it becomes, and then the more of the backroom talking you have, things like that. And I try to avoid it as long as I can, I guess. Yeah. So I think the first place to get started is on LinkedIn. So there's only one Joran Hofman, and this is not a sales pitch, but it's actually true. There's only one. So if you just type it in on LinkedIn, you'll find me. And otherwise, getreditus.com. Or on that site, you'll also find the podcast. So that will be the place.
Thanks again, Joran, for coming on the show and sharing your journey and insights. Hey, SaaS founders, if you have a product-led growth motion as part of your go-to-market strategy, you've got to check out Reditus. And you can learn more about Joran and Reditus at getreditus.com. As always, all links, highlights, resources, and full show notes are available at saasfuel.com. And be sure to check us out on YouTube as well. Subscribe, follow us, share the podcast. People love it when you do that. They'll think that you're super smart because you knew about something before they did. And everyone who shares this week gets a dynamic duo detector, little gadget that finds the perfect pairings for anything from wine and cheese to socks and sandals, if you're into that sort of thing. And maybe affiliates and SaaS companies. Join us Thursday on our SaaS Fuel Expert Series, where my guest is Asia Arangio from Demand Maven, a growth consultancy that helps SaaS software and internet-based companies troubleshoot their growth, identify new growth opportunities, and do demand generation. And next Tuesday, we have founder Vlad Gozman, CEO and co-founder of Involve.me, an AI-powered quiz funnel and business form builder. There's a crazy story behind this episode as well. Super lesson and how to do PLG in a way that converts and a way that doesn't. We had a connection that didn't even realize until recording day, which is very cool. We talk about that in the episode. So I will see you next time. And as always, enjoy the journey.
Thanks for listening to SaaS Fuel. Full show notes for each episode, which includes a summary, key takeaways, quotes, and any resources mentioned, are available at saasfuel.com. Be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're enjoying the content and getting value from these episodes, please leave us a rating and review at ratethispodcast.com/SaaSfuel. We'll be sure to read these out on future episodes.